Hi, Aries. All right, happy May. I hope you had a good birthday, or happy now whenever you arrive. Okay, so, Aries, what's that song? Ain't nothing like the real thing. I'm not a good singer. Baby, ain't nothing like the real thing. Whatever that is, that song. That's true. That's true. You can always tell what's real, right? I also feel like a person is in, like, they're where they're supposed to be. They're where they're supposed to be. They're walking into the light. You could also be doing well. A person I could see could be doing well financially also. I think part of that is because what I'm seeing is Jupiter in the second. This is mirroring over the eighth house. So, like, paying your debts or being more conscious around finances actually gives some kind of benefit about it. Being more consciousness around something. You know, maybe there's just like some new karma, some new stuff. Things are feeling more connected, more tubular. It's more like a slide instead of like a sharp corner. Okay, cool. All right, so this month we're going to choose one card from this deck. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles on the bottom, nice. This is a really beautiful deck. It's kind of old, it's kind of rare. It took me a while to find this, actually. I wasn't like always initially looking for this. But this other part came to me first. And even that, I sort of put it aside because I was like, well, I'll get there when I'm supposed to. And then this other part came in, and they really go together. Someone else talked about this, like, each of these two parts kind of hold themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can exist in and of themselves. But when you put them together, it's a whole, there's so many more options or opportunities, possibilities. And what's awesome is I feel like a person is ready. They have the skill set to do it. Eight of Pentacles. Is that the card we're supposed to read? Yes. So we're going to read this story. This is where the Fool's journey along the path. As this isn't a major, then the stories around what's happening now are like just keeping up with like the basics is actually how a person really succeeds. It's like they're rewarded for I heard their patience. And I saw the words able, willing, and then I saw like a deed. Okay. Let's see Eight of Pentacles to start with. Cups, Wands, Swords, Pentacles. And this is based off of mostly Greek stories, so if I butcher the names, please correct me. Oh, here we go. Somebody already talked about this. Daedalus. Okay, well, that's the way we're going to say it. I hope we can remember that. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles represents Daedalus, once again as an apprentice, working hard on developing his skills. Implied here is the natural outcome of the Seven. Daedalus has chosen the god, and consequently a new venture has opened up to him. I wonder if when they wrote God, they meant to say chosen the good. I guess it's the same thing. Okay, so again, consequently, a new venture has opened up, and where new skills must be acquired so that the project may blossom and bear fruit. Eight of Pentacles is the card of the apprentice, but unlike the two, where we saw the craftsman juggling his energies and developing talents through clever shifting of funds and resources, the eight does not imply instability. We see here a spirit of dedication, of one-pointed energy. The enthusiastic spirit is often the accompaniment of a new adventure, particularly if this is a departure from what we have done before. In many ways, the eight coincides with that period of life which follows what psychology calls midlife crisis. For the Seven of Pentacles, which is what has been being worked through, I guess, Seven of Pentacles in some ways embodies just this crisis. What we have been has become stale, yet a departure into new pastures is often attended by anxiety and a fear of losing all the stability we have built. Yet if such a transition can be successfully made, then we see the fresh energy of the eight, which implies not only enthusiasm about acquiring a new skill, but also relief that we have not exhausted all our potentials and can still continue to grow and make new things manifest. Cool. It says this card can suggest the talent which the individual has recently discovered, I see, or practicing, which is worthy of development and effort. It says this can imply, in a sense, that a hobby or something that's just done on the side can become more structured. And since the energy is stating the undercurrent of like, okay, I ought to be, or this ought to be like firmly established, maybe a big part of that is someone's belief that they can. You know, like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can teach myself that. So if there's something that you feel like, you know, I'm not really that good at that, I don't have a lot of experience in that, remember this card doesn't have instability in it, so you could, stepping into that could actually, again, expand and give a person rewards. Because after this comes the 9, which is a very positive card, then the 10, and then all the court cards, which are, again, they're all positive. So then we go into the Ace. So that's at least, what is that? 7 years from now. Over the next year, I heard try to practice the thing that buzzes in your ear. Maybe a person wants to look at or is looking at things more long term too. Because Eight of Pentacles to me also shows like a person that's like, okay, the effort that I put in at this present moment, even if it seems really minute or minuscule, right? He's just, for instance, just making another disc. They're all pretty much exactly the same. There's not a lot of difference here. So again, it's these little parts that make up the whole. Because, again, the little efforts are going to matter way down the line. Someone else talked about this, but, like, collective efforts. Collective efforts. I don't remember who said that. Aries. Who did say that? I didn't write it down. Maybe you'll find it. Cool. Okay, so let's see. So this is the kind of the lesson. I also see this as a bit of what's happening. Maybe for some it feels like more of a suggestion. Let's see inside. Two of Cups. Oh, feeling so good. Feeling so loved. Supported. Understood. Good. That's friggin' great. And then that in your outside world is the Justice card. So you have Libra energy. Your second house is really highlighted. So is your someone balance something, or they're balancing, someone in the external world is helping someone balance something with their 8th house. Like maybe more courage in what a person can create or figure out. There's also a guy like Art or Artie. Someone's creative. There's also a pretty sweet truck that I see. Cool. And a diner. There's a diner. Okay. You're recorded on the same day as Sagittarius. This deck, by the way, was made by my friend Alexandra. Isn't it rad? Took her a long time to do it. She just did 1 or 2 at a time. I think it was about 1 a day. And eventually it added up to exactly what it needed to be, you know. And now we can use it and touch it and feel it. It's real now. It's real, and it's so cool. I'm very grateful to be able to connect with this. Oh, that's awesome if that's the words coming out when we're talking about what's going on inside of you. Good. But in extension, Sag was recorded on the same day as you, and they talked about the moon. The moon was their story card. And so if you're working through moon energy, or you're particularly if you're feminine, I feel like that'll give another layer of things, maybe having to do with love or just connection. There's the moon again. This is the moon card in this deck. Interesting. But I feel like this is a good feeling. Let's expand on that. Let's see. 3. If you're worried about whether, how do I see this? I heard at certain times you need to be alone, and then there's like a certain percentage of togethering. Like a person stands alone, and then there's this togethering energy. It's not a tether, not tied to it, it's just a togethering. So I guess if you're worried about whether someone understands you, you don't have to be. Yeah, I feel like a person's made peace with something in themselves. I think they're starting to realize, like, internally, which is reflected in this external world, that there's, like, support and love. Like, someone doesn't have to go, like, at it alone. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't have to walk that path all by themselves. No, there's other people. Look, this person, here we go, walking down the path. Here's another helper. I heard, where are you going? How do you do? Where are you going? How do you do? Hey, my name's so-and-so. What's your name? Penelope? yeah, Libra had this card inside a double two of cups, just like pleasure energy. Then we have this Libra energy here. So and then we have the Empress, which again is more like Venusian. Let's see about this. Someone wants to give you a raise. Someone wants to give you an opportunity. You have the skills to do something. But remember, Eight of Pentacles is about learning. So, okay, we'll leave it there. But then someone's just like, all right, I'm learning. Like, look, this is like a person it doesn't look so rough anymore, or pardon me, it is so itchy. Six of Wands. So whatever a person takes up and they're like, again, I'm willing to put some effort into this. I'm willing to learn. I want to try. I'm going to test myself. They really, it's a little rough at first. It's a little more raw, but it becomes polished actually quite quickly. So what is it that the thing that you're like, man, Sag talked about this too, like, oh, I'm kind of a newbie. Who is it in your life that's good at the thing that you are wanting to learn about? Because I think, because this shows me a fast learner too. They're just like, once they start doing it, they're like, oh, this is so easy. Like, I can't believe I haven't always like done this. Ace of Coins, yes. It's very valuable what someone's learning. It's very valuable what someone is doing, where they're putting their time. Again, even in the smallest of ways, it matters so much. I feel like this is really balanced, giving, loving people in your life too. And you know, maybe part of it, I heard if you can't motivate yourself, what motivates you? Right, like I realized today that I did something, and I did something because I said to myself, well, I don't want to affect them. I don't want this to like affect something outside of me unnecessarily. So I cleaned it up for myself. But if I was just thinking about just myself and I was alone in that, I probably would have let it linger a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if this is about accountability or just like, again, maybe some supportive energy where it's just like, if someone's just like, hey, I feel like I'm doing pretty good with this. Like, and it's just like, yeah, I heard, yeah, you're doing awesome. You're doing awesome about that. That's exactly like, is this how it's done? And it's like, yeah, dude, just like that. You're way ahead of the game. Someone in the external world could also offer you something. I don't know if this is in exchange or if it's just a gift. I feel like there's some exchange, but it's a big opportunity. Something, again, in the physical world, and it would be a fair thing. But I guess this is you, only need a portion of something. You just, that thing, again, that's a little bit rough, just needs to be refined a little bit. Like the stone, you know, it's kind of like rough cut stone, and then it's a bit more cut and polished. It's like Saturn energy. But that's all a person needs to prove or to show to that which is outside of it. Like, hey, I heard, again, this is what I have, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I am wanting to do. And they're like, I heard that's totally fine. I'd love to work with you. Okay. Someone could be focused on their money more purely, or again, the physical world. It came up like this in Sag's reading too. There was a lot of earth in other people. Which I think is a good thing, because those are grounded people. Those are steady people. Those are people where you could be like, dude, can I borrow $100? And they're like, yeah. And you don't have to do the whole thing like, when are you going to pay me back, dude? Or like, or it's, you know, shit. You could be like, hey, I need a, I don't know. It could even be a couple grand. People have, and they're willing to give in it. Or receive it. So again, there's like exchange energy, the star. So whatever your goals are, again, working towards things, you're doing a good, someone here is doing a good job. It's like maybe they shifted something kind of subconsciously or unconsciously, which Sag talked about. What do we have for time? Oh, that felt... Maybe that's enough. You're fire, so it's kind of like get to the point, right? One of my favorite Aries told me that the other day. Made sense. Maybe get to the point, you know? I don't mind trimming off the fat. Get all the extra out of the way, right? Get down, I heard, get down to brass tacks. Oh, someone needs your strength, Aries. Not trying to steal your strength, not that. They need you. Because you got to be strong to try something new. Right? Because this isn't working just to like fill time or anything like that. It's working towards a purpose. And this is working 8 hours a day, and that's it too. So if you're going overboard with that, I mean, I guess if you have financial goals, you could push there, but I still think you want to have a pretty equal portion of socialization, because that's part of the blessing. Is like conversations with other people. Some of you could get a loan for a house. 4 of Coins, the Justice card, the Ace of Pentacles. There's a fair deal here. That's the point. It's fair. It's like if someone read all the fine print, it's like it's fair. And maybe that's a part of just people in the outside world now. Again, you don't have to, a person doesn't have to question so much whether they're like, are they fucking me over? Like, am I going to make the wrong decision? Can I trust them? It doesn't really, 10 of Cups, no, it doesn't. 6 of Coins, no. Even Hermit, double, so 8 of Wands, it's like, no, that question isn't even there. And then I heard little kids be like, dude, I double dog dare. Like, a double dog dare you to... But it's something in the practical world. You know, maybe it's like making a game out of it. Makes it more fun. I mean, sometimes to me, Aries is very serious. But other times it's childlike, right? And so I guess you can go to all these places just like Libra, right? One side to the other. Suppose we're trying to find mostly a middle ground there. Using wisdom. Just a second. The outside world, other people are rooting you on, Aries. It's like, dude, you can do it. Like, they believe in you. They, 10 of coins, yes, they believe in you. They'd be like, dude, they could do... You can be like, you know, they could look at you and be like, man, you're, you know, they already see you as an 8. But they recognize that you can be a 10. You know, so I guess other people see your potential. Even if you weren't that experienced in something, I feel like someone would be like, you're hired because of a person's work ethic, because of their openness to learn. Maybe some previous experience, even though it's not technically like pigeonholed in the same way. Does this make sense? Because this is a reliable employee. This is someone who you can trust to work on their own. You know what I mean? You can give them a task. They're not egotistical. Like, if they don't know, they're going to be like, how does this go again? Like, I keep having, when I'm doing it like this, it keeps happening like that. What do I do? And this person's just like, oh, you just... You know, I heard, when's the last time you took a break? You know, had a drink of water. Sat down, I heard, took the pressure off your feet. And I see the answer gets the answer becomes questioned. The question becomes answered. Again, like, well, all right, what's my next step? It's just like, you're already good where you are. Just believe, I guess, that it could get better. Like, why not? I heard shoot for the stars. If you lowball that a little bit, cool, you're still winning. Strength. Yes, magician, yes. And actually, I really hope, I remember this, and I really hope some of you take on this exercise, because it's so cool. It keeps showing me that if a person just tries to do the thing that they are not that apt at, it's like a little bit of a learning curve. Well, I keep seeing the word exacerbated. I don't know what that means. What I'm seeing more is like energy going outward. It's like it's actually so easy. Didn't we mention that? Be like, wow, I can't believe. It's like they just get the rhythm of it. Oh, I'm going back to kind of close this out. We're getting there. This could very well be that someone does have a hobby and turns it into something else. You know, for instance, sometimes when you're an artist, most artists need a manager, like a musician needs a manager. You know, it's the artist brain is not always the managerial brain. They're kind of different. This is like right brain, left brain. But if someone really wants, because they're so independent, they want to figure it out on their own, that's just part of their nature. Even if someone's just like, dude, I'd help you, and be like, no, I got it. The point is that because a person wants to do it for themselves, then they gotta, again, do the thing that they're not so hot at. But they can. That's the thing. And they're actually, I feel like, justice, yeah, they're pretty impressed with themselves. And so are other people. You know, I heard, I've been teaching myself. Because I heard here, this is how it's done. And someone's like this, and it's like just like that. Perfect. Perfect. And that could be something. You're funny, Aries. Perfect. 8 of Pentacles can also be, side note, where a person is doing something, the same thing over and over and over and over, because they don't feel like they're ever ready. Also, you know, it could be a person, for instance, that works a really basic job where it doesn't really hold much significance to the whole, even though it's probably a huge part of it. but it's like they never take the initiative to like step out on their own and like sell their wares, or like tell anybody that they have like this ability. So if you're a perfectionist, that might be something that you need to let go of, because remember, think of like, you know how any of your favorite bands, it's like the first album is always the best, right? And why is it the best? I mean, one of the main things is because they're trying. It's brand new. That's what makes it feel so exciting, and again, raw. And I heard we can refine over time. So let it be. And somebody else, well, hold on a second. Well, I'm not trying to compare you to anyone else. Right, because I heard everybody started somewhere. Oh, right. The 8 of Pentacles comes after the 7. I believe that Virgo had the 7 of Earth. And they are all about perfection. And that is one of Aries' lessons, right? And that you kind of work best alone. You don't have to worry about something being perfect. Please don't. Just chip at it. Ace of Swords. Yeah, we said what we need to say. Ooh, interesting reading, Aries. Thank you so much. That felt inspiring. Cool. What are your hobbies? Like, what do you love to do or create? This would be sort of like smaller, manageable things you could just, I don't know, like pick up. Maybe you can probably can grab it with one hand, possibly two. But that's important. And something, again, because you know what? You're technically 12th on the roster. And 12th is also someone's hidden talents. So I actually feel like, again, a person is better at something than they think that they are. All right. Happy now. Have a great month. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.